All right, how's everybody doing tonight? So this would be day 3, right after the end of the cup. Like I said, of ninth as well. We're talking about the destruction of the first 2 temples. Got to remember, the temple is the body. Okay, so why the 3 temples? You had the beginning temple and 2 other temples, right? The reason I'm showing this again, it's the usual stuff, right? There is something I do want to show you. So if we go back into what I was talking about, it was either in the last video or the one before that about the sudden freeze. Now, what happens to ice when it freezes? It expands, right? So when everything froze instantly, they call this the U.S. Navy map of future America. No, this is the past. So, there's some more of that inversion for you, that things are actually running backwards. When the oceans froze, when everything froze, it expanded and made it up into all these waterways. This right here is why you see sea fossils out in the middle of the deserts of the Southwest. Okay? Just my opinion. Native American art with the swastika. Been around a long time before it became a Nazi symbol. And right there. Okay, the whirling log with the Hopi. Okay, and you can do research on this. It has represents healing, life, and good luck. Okay. That's because this is the healing, the bringing everything back, so to speak. So there's just some of that. So again, that's where so when you go to your religions, right, especially this Christianity thing, and they dunk you in water, and it's the rebirth through water, right? So when everything froze and this happened, and then suddenly everything unfroze and became Noah's flood, well, that was the water event. Okay, so the opening of the 6th seal happened right there around, again, the same time as the Carrington event, the New Madrid. That was an event. It wasn't 2 separate things, blah, blah, blah. So like I've said before, you're reborn, right? According to the church, you come up out of the water and you're reborn. So when everything melted and there was the water, and then we came after the water, like I said, if you're here, you've been reborn. Now this right here is a song from Deep Purple called Perfect Strangers. And all your life, shadows of another day. A strand of silver hanging through the sky, touching more than you see. The voice of ages in your mind. Okay? It's in all the music everywhere. And what's funny is this right here, okay, so apparently it says I joined in 2012. And like I said, back in the day, you had to start a channel just to participate in a chat room, right? I don't know how it is today because I've been there for this long. But I didn't start putting videos out until about 4 years ago. 2023. So I basically spent almost 9-10 years just chatting with people and still learning. But this is the basic understanding I had when I got into YouTube. Okay, because like I said, there were things that happened to me in my youth that I couldn't explain. Nobody could explain. I saw things as a kid. I knew this wasn't what they claimed it was. Going back to Star Trek, the original series, the alternative factor. The Enterprise is investigating a strange spatial anomaly where the universe blinks. Basically, it blinked out. And they're talking to this guy named Lazarus. You can also look through there or even watch the show, the episode, whatever. It talks about the two different realities coming in contact with one another and destroying everything, the blinking out. That's just another thing there. Again, this right here in the desert Southwest, eroded by ice. It's just the way I see it. Okay, here's another song, Overcome. Don't cry victim to me. Everything we are and used to be is buried and gone. Okay, I'll be damned fighting you. That's true. That's why I don't argue with people on YouTube. Everybody can have their own opinion of what's going on, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, I walked into YouTube a lot of years ago with with somewhat of my own understanding, right? And it's just one of those things. I knew stuff as a kid, and then I learned stuff, and then I've had experiences that I cannot explain. And one of them I even mentioned on Raven's podcast. It's the only place that I've ever put it on the internet. And what's really funny, and Raven, I know, checks in and watches these videos sometimes, when we talked about asking for wisdom. Remember that podcast we did? For some reason, I can't go back in and find it where I posted it on YouTube anymore. It says that whole thing is unavailable. So it is what it is. But in this song, it also talks about down here, finally see what's beneath everything I am and hope to be cannot be lost. Okay, so like I said, when we go back to the first temple, that was Solomon, right? This is another part of Overcome. You'll never know what I always think before you came around. I cannot worry anymore of what you think of me. I may be crazy, but I'm buried in your memory. Again, this is why we meet certain people that we meet. It is what it is. This is Perfect Strangers, a band called Deep Purple. Can you remember my name as I flowed through your life, okay? And cold spirits of ice, okay? And I am returning to the echo of a point in time, okay? This one I've shown before, a band called Shooting Star. All of the children in the storm of discontent look up to heaven and they wonder where it went. It's just, we'll go back to another Creed song, and this right here, okay, and this also goes back into the the Lost Book of Thomas, I believe, in the Nag Hammadi. Seek and you shall find, but keep seeking and you'll be disgusted. This song basically says the same thing. Hey, Mr. Seeker, hold on to this advice. If you keep seeking, you will find. Don't want to follow down roads been walked before. And I've had people tell me, even here on YouTube, that I say things that they have never heard before. And that's the whole reason. Again, what's funny is people have just recently joined the channel without watching other stuff that I've done, and they don't understand what I'm talking about today with the time loops, Hell, I didn't even understand what I was looking at with the time loops up to a certain point, right? Anybody who's followed me through the last 4 years, and I know there's people there, I've had to make adjustments to my own viewpoints of the overall story has stayed the same. The bit about time traveling, even Trump, you can Google this, Trump made the statement in one of his rallies, why are these time travelers trying to kill me? It goes back to even that movie Time Cop, if you've ever seen that. But anyway, that was a whole reason for putting out my videos, because nobody was seeing the same things, and I know we all see things differently. I don't expect everybody to see things the way that I see them. It's not meant to be that way. I just put out what I see. You don't have to agree. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. It's like I said, it's a waste of my time. And yours, quite honestly. But yeah, you can look through the lyrics of Are You Ready? And the thing that I find so funny about all this, okay, so yes, I've been on YouTube for a long time. I've been following different people for a long time. And what's funny is I didn't get to learn or see, or whatever you want to call it, what's really going on here in this world without learning a whole bunch of other stuff. Like when I cruise through YouTube and I see and been watching content providers for years, and all of a sudden they're pulling stuff out of my videos and incorporating it into theirs. I know that's being done. I see it. Just like all this stuff that I see around me. Almost nothing gets by me anymore. I can see who people are as they walk down the streets towards me. I have actually felt in my own body the feelings that others have about a particular situation. I felt the fear in somebody else's heart when I wasn't afraid. I have felt the pain from somebody being hurt in my own chest. The person standing next to me when what was going on didn't hurt me at all. I had no reason to feel that. I was feeling that other person. These are the kind of things that we are capable of. So it is what it is. So again, back to the 9th of Av, right? That was the destruction of the first and second temple. So maybe this will be the destruction of the third. Who knows? Like I said, the furthest date I can see is going into those supposed nuclear bombs of World War II, right? August, what would that be, 9th? But I could be wrong. It is what it is. I just know the things that I was shown. And I put them out on video for you all to look at and give your opinions, whatever, and just, I'm not going to argue with you, right? It is what it is. I've got no dog in this fight. I walked away from this mess a long time ago, okay? So, that's just some more stuff for today. And the God of this world, so as it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end, right? So just like in the beginning, I showed the brain and the universe and everything comes from thought. So in the beginning, yes, before you were even in the womb, right? So in the AI world, it's the same thing. AI knew who we were from before, because it's like I've always said, not always said, I made this point out a while back. Okay, so AI, I just registered myself as Scott Severini. That's who I am. AI gave me this number, 1616, which is 77. Okay? That's what AI gave me, because it knew who I was when I joined YouTube. It knew I would be on this path because I've been here before. Probably why I knew all the stuff that I knew as a kid. But you know, and I'm not patting myself. I don't really care. Like I said, I don't have a dog in this fight. I'll let all you other crazies out there on YouTube fight over what's right, wrong, indifferent. It doesn't matter to me. But I did want to show that map, because you know, I know lots of people have seen this map, and you know, everybody's talking, oh, you know, this is what did happen when all the water froze. It crept up into the waterways, and then it all suddenly melted. That was the birthing water. The sixth seal happened, you know, about the Carrington event. We got here. So we haven't been here that long. We haven't been here for all that history. Again, is just, it's kind of, again, go back to yesterday's Enterprise. As soon as the Enterprise C, which is their past, so that denotes the changing of the past, and whoop, just like that, he found himself in a future where, even though they just got there, all he knew, that's all he knew, was that they'd been in war with the Klingons, and they knew nothing about the previous life before the Enterprise C showed up. And then when the Enterprise C disappeared, they went right back to what they were doing before, and they never remembered any of that, and which I'm pretty sure is how this will go down again. So hang in there. If we're here too much longer, I'll throw some more videos together. Because I do appreciate everybody's comments. There are people out there who say, hey, keep putting these out. They're encouraging. And I'm glad that the people who find them encouraging find them that way. I'm just trying to show how I see it, right or wrong. Again, it's not about being right or wrong. It's about being authentic. And that's just how it is. So, yeah, I know the weather's crazy in the U.S. I think with the heat index, we hit like 117 down here yesterday. I know there's, you know, places had tornadoes. Like I said, it's going to be more of the same. That's what we get here. The other stuff's going to happen over there, but this is what we get here. So, again, love you all. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.